Well, we had a shock race winner and a shock one too indeed last time out in this F1 24 career mode, but now it's episode 67 today for the Italian Grand Prix, which means we're definitely getting another crazy race because Monza is always mental on this one with the Slipstream Fest, but last time was action-packed with a insane last lap battle with Leclerc, our championship rival from last season. I said at the time it was very nice to have a proper wheel-to-wheel direct battle with Leclerc. I felt like that was the first time we had one in the entire series. Obviously didn't end well for me as we tried a last minute ditch dive bomb and we had to settle for P4, but there you see it was a 1-2 for BMW Williams. Absolutely insane. Alexander Albon winning that one ahead of Esteban Ocon. We still lead the championship and it's still somehow only 4 points in it between myself and Lando Norris. No matter what's happened in like the last 5 races, we've managed to stay within about 10 points of each other, you know, up and down, swapping position 1 to 2. It seems like our, obviously former McLaren teammates from season 1 and 2, we seem to just be intrinsically locked together for this championship. But Leclerc is getting up there. He's quite close in terms of points. So this is now soon becoming maybe a potential 3-way championship fight, but things may be getting harder unless we get that recognition ASAP. This is a message to Toyota. I implore you, see the light of day. See the fact that you need to give me the 1% recognition to unlock the rest of the upgrades, because now, all of a sudden, I don't know what's happened in the coding, but everyone and their mother has upgraded in this grid, whether that was simultaneously everyone else on this grid, one of their lead drivers got the recognition they needed to unlock their last remaining upgrades. I joke, I actually think that's what's happened. I think simultaneously everyone here, one of the drivers is 60% recognition, and they're now starting their final upgrades. And so in lieu of that, Toyota, sort it out. Please, we need it. We absolutely need it.
They call it the Temple of Speed, and the pilgrims have come to worship. It's all about the speed today. Qualifying awaits us. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
Crofty mentioning worship there. I think we're going to have to get on our knees and pray for a miracle a little bit, because I'm worried now. I'm worried about how the performance is going to be of this car versus others. You know, maybe this is the best race for this to happen, because as I've said before, this car clearly is very aero efficient, so it does one thing very well, is go well in a straight line and not compromise too much if we go up a few clicks on the front wing to still get a bit of good turning. But yeah, it lacks a bit of downforce, but you don't need that much downforce around Monza, so maybe this is the best place to have the entire grid bring a flurry of upgrades, and I hope that we can just try and push this car as high as we can. But right now, that first lap was only good enough for P14, and it's actually crazy. This can't keep happening. Once again, we're right next to Norris in the ladder there. Verstappen ahead in P12. We crossed the line. It's an improvement to get us up into, once again, another P7 from Spa to Monza. And just like from Spa to Monza, it is pole position for Lewis Hamilton in the Red Bull Ford, but Leclerc second place for Ferrari. He's going to be happy with that, with a chance to maybe go for P1 straight away at turn 1, as not surprisingly from Spa to Monza, the two BMW Williams are still looking good. Tsunoda pops in a great time, so actually this just proves my point about the aero efficiency, because Tsunoda does very, very well indeed. So in a race where it could have been quite a worrying state, seeing the R&D chart, this is one of those races where this is not really going to matter for us, and maybe next episode will be where we see that R&D chart really start to hurt us. So in a weird way, we really have to make the most of this, because until we get that damn recognition, this might be the last race where we can actually perform really well, use the car's advantages, because other circuits where downforce will matter more, I fear that's where we're going to get caught out with the teams around us upgrading. Let's go to the grid for what I'm sure is going to be one very hectic Italian Grand Prix, as it always is on the F1 game.
A difficult race awaits these drivers here in Monza, but glory awaits too at the Italian Grand Prix. We're 12 miles northeast of Milan for today's Grand Prix at a Monza circuit where we can expect top speeds of around 215 miles per hour. 11 corners on this 3.6 mile track, with 7 of those coming in the form of chicanes. And with a good slipstream and DRS open, there should be plenty of opportunity for some passing here today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Ocon, Albon, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, and RB, Behrman, Oscar Piastri, Sainz, Perez, Stroll, Verstappen, Norris, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Sargent, Vesti, and Zhou Guanyu. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, sadly, things didn't work out for them last time. It was a bad race. Question is, though, can they recover today?
Yes, they can, Crofty. You've got to put it behind you. Whatever happened last time, I was always told as a driver, park it, forget about it. Obviously, feel the pain when it happens, but then you can't dwell on it and carry that through to the next race. So put it behind you and just crack on with this race coming your way now.
All sunny skies here for the Italian Grand Prix, which guarantee this will be the usual and I guess you could say fan favourite chaotic slipstream fest here of the Italian Grand Prix. I say maybe fan favourite. I feel like, I don't know about any of you guys, let me know in the comments below. I feel like Monza as a race on the F1 game is getting a little bit samey because you just know it is literally going to be just swapping every single lap. At the same time, that's obviously exciting because you just don't know who's going to win it. You don't know who's going to get on the podium right till the last lap. But it basically means the opening laps, I would like to say it matters, but it may not. We just need to keep our nose clean and stay in the train, stay in the fight, and be there on the last lap as we go to lights out for the Italian Grand Prix. And we're underway. A lot of wheel spin for Nico Hülkenberg, even more so for Leclerc, though. It's nearly 4 wide. We've not had the best start. We've actually got off the line horribly. Behrman's overtaken us. Hamilton still leads P1. Tsunoda with the kamikaze dive, and he has done the opposite of keep his nose clean. He's broken it off. The front wing's off, and the virtual safety car is upon us. Leclerc, oh, that's the opposite of the home race start he wanted for the Scuderia Ferrari car. And Tsunoda, what was he thinking? He's broken his front wing. Virtual safety car's out, and that might be an early pit stop for our teammates who did so well to out-qualify me, to be in the top 4 at that point when he got off the line. So yeah, there you go. Here's that pit stop for him. So he's in. So it's going to be one long afternoon for Tsunoda as we get going again to green flags racing. Piastri a bit slow on the restart. Behrman looking for the opportunity to go around the outside, and he may just get this. We're trying to stick with him, maybe make an overtake if we can, but instead we have to just settle and stay put in P8 for now. And this is the common theme at Monza. It's about patience and just waiting and knowing that you will get that opportunity with so many straights, DRS zones, opportunities to outdo people with the battery use, as Behrman does get the overtake on Piastri, and now that invites us to make the move on not only one, but maybe both of them. Can we go around the outside of Behrman? No, we can't even finish the move off on Piastri, as we have to try and squeeze him to the right. Obviously, we've brought the wings down as low as we can to try and get some good speed in a straight line, as it's 3 wide across onto lap 3, and we're still trying to finish off this double pass, squeezing Piastri into turn 1, and we do get the double overtake up into P6, but maybe a parabolica on the heavier fuel. We've just got the wings a little too low to be confident, but obviously as the fuel comes out, that will be less of an issue. But right now at the front then, it was Hamilton leading. Ocon is now in the lead, so once again, a Williams leads this Grand Prix. You can see Hülkenberg getting ever closer to Hamilton's rear end there, but look at that train forming all the way down to even us, to Piastri, to Behrman, as all of us bunch up together together and look to make passes on this main straight. Ocon vulnerable from behind from Hamilton. Hulkenberg moving about. Can we make a move somewhere? I'm just waiting for the right opportunity, but it's basically just a case of where's the space? Oh, there is none right now because Albon is going for the move on Leclerc, and Leclerc, he was hoping to move forwards. All of a sudden, he might move backwards by 2 positions. He's lost out to Albon, and now we go on the outside. No battery use really even needed there as we just get the acceleration on the Ferrari, and now try and get Albon, as I didn't notice at the time, by the way, but look at the bottom right. My DRS has failed. I didn't realize at this stage that my DRS had failed at all. And this is one of the worst places for it to fail as Albon gets back ahead of us. And maybe this is karma if you remember 2 races ago at the Austrian Grand Prix where my DRS got stuck open around the Red Bull ring and it really helped us get that sprint win. So maybe this is just a finely balance from the Formula 1 gods to have a DRS failure midway through the Italian Grand Prix as we nearly career into the back of Albon. Our DRS is fine now, but it won't matter as the concertina effect catches me out. I just didn't see that coming. I thought, how on earth have we caught them that much in the brake zone? But everyone is slowing each other up so much in these slow corners that we almost careered into the back of Albon. Had to take avoiding action, and now we're behind Leclerc and Piastri. So need to keep our wits about us a little bit more as the rear end snaps a little bit there. Hopefully that's not the tyres gone like it was in Spa. And look ahead of us. This is just ridiculous. It's 3 wide ahead. Albon, Piastri, Leclerc. Hamilton has just lost 3 positions in 1 brake zone. This slipstream levels now, season 4 on this game at Monza. I mean, Monza's always been crazy on previous F1 games, but now on F1 24, with the DRS being the most powerful DRS I think I've ever seen on an F1 game, it is crazy. As we now, on lap 13, very thankfully, for the first time, have a bit of peace and quiet. We're in P1, Hamilton's P2, pretty much everyone else has now come in for a pit stop, but myself and Hamilton are going longer to try and get a bit of clean air in here, because look at this, everyone in the pit lane, they're going to hold each other up, and if they're not going to hold each other up in the pit lane, well, they're going to be nearly 3 wide as the Williams, oh lord, the Williams nearly crashes into his own teammate. Ocon there, pulling out for the move on the Ferrari, and the Haas nearly goes into the back of his own teammate who is in the pit lane exit. That could have been pretty sketchy. I mean, thank God Ocon backed out of it. If he committed to that, well, it would have been an epic 4 wide maybe, but it could have also been a horrendous crash as we now peel into the pits along with Hamilton, I believe, behind us, and it's time for our pit stop then. Enjoy that peace and quiet, you know. Monza, you can appreciate a lot more when you're not just constantly swapping positions every single straight, as we are in now for the set of hard tyres to the end of this race. Oh, there's a mistake there. Look at that front right tyre. That's a slow pit stop, and Hamilton is going to jump us. Just about gets ahead of us there. So now we're on the back foot. We've lost time. 6.3 second pit stop. That is horrendous. And look at all of them flying by us. All of them jumping. Oh my word! Lance Stroll has crashed into us in the pit lane exit. Safety car is out at Monza. What did I say about Ocon and Albon? The 2 Williams almost crashed. Lance Stroll, of course, has crashed into me. We're obviously where we're meant to be, on the pit lane exit. He's driven into me. He was on the racing line. He wasn't even looking to overtake anyone. And he's decided to turn into my racing line, the pit lane exit racing line, and crash into me. Outstanding. And I'm sure he'll still have a job at Aston Martin next season in the game. I'm sure of it. As, yeah, the safety car is now out, and that is going to bunch everything up. We're P9, though. We're down the order because of that slow pit stop. And I'm just thinking now, if we are going to be bunched up, it's going to seem a little bit zany, a little bit crazy, but I'm going to come in for another pit stop. We're going to come off the hard tyres. Of course, we've now switched compounds, so we're free to go on whatever compound we want, but we had to switch compounds initially. But now, I'd rather be on a new set of mediums. For the first time in, it's a very rare thing, but I've got another set of new mediums in this race weekend, so why don't we put them on? I know this seems odd because we're going to go, willingly down to, what's this, P16 in this race, but that's what, only 7 positions lower than where we were in the pecking order, and we're going to be bunching up, so we're not going to be even distance-wise that far away from right behind Lewis Hamilton's rear wing, and instead we're going to be on fresh mediums, whereas, well, apart from Russell, everyone else are on hards, so we're going to be much better in the corners, which was the only weakness I felt that we had in stint 1. We were very good, obviously, in a straight line and catching up and just playing, the Monza race strategy well of slipstreaming and being patient. So here we go then, going green. This does seem like a gamble, but trust me on it, I think this is going to work out for us as we overtake Russell, overtake Lando Norris. Remember, our championship rival, yet again, the McLaren is stuck in traffic. It's a horrendous car in traffic. I think it might be worse than the Red Bull from like the V8 era. It just can't overtake anyone in traffic as he's stuck behind Russell still down in P17 as we out traction Sargent. We get up to P12. So, and look at the mini-map. We are only a couple of cars down the order from where we were behind Hamilton as we dive bomb Alonso, and we just have that confidence because these mediums are so much better than the hard tyres as we now gain on Ollie Behrman, and up the road there is Hamilton and Sainz side by side. So already I feel vindicated by that extra stop, and that's going to now give us the confidence and the grip to catapult further from where we are right now, P10 to P9, and then maybe further still, because this is where we were, obviously, when the safety car came out. But now, sky's the limit. We still have plenty of grip on these mediums, and we're going to try and go for more as we go down the inside of Hamilton to get the first of the 2 Red Bull Fords. Leclerc, look at Leclerc up the road. He's really holding up Perez here and Verstappen. So Leclerc struggling for race pace in the Ferrari, annoyingly for him and the Tifosi. And to be fair also, just noting, Perez is up here in P6, so maybe it's not even a McLaren thing. Maybe Lando's just having a bit of an off day because he's still in P17. He's behind Yuki. So fair play to Yuki. He may not be able to help me in the Constructors to score some points today, but he may just hold up Lando in this race. But Leclerc Leclerc's got damage. Leclerc's got damage. Hang on a minute. Did you see that? He's got half his front wing's missing. He's got no flaps on the front left of his car. No wonder he was holding up Perez. And Leclerc comes in for a pit stop. It's a disaster for the 2 nearest people to me in the Drivers' Championship. Lando's down in P16, Leclerc's P18, as we try and make the move stick on the cars all behind us. And there's a whole gaggle of about 6 cars trying to attack me. But now we're up into P6. We've got the opportunity to close up to Sergio Perez. This is all coming towards us. The good luck is returning to us at Toyota after that dismal DNF 2 races ago at Silverstone. This is looking good for us. We pass Perez, and then we get our head down. We well could be on fighting for a podium, fighting for, if we play our cards right, dare I say, even a race win. That's how powerful the DRS can be. As we're now gaining on Perez, we've got single digits of battery, but the DRS is pulling us along and giving us the opportunity to now save battery in the large brake zones. And ahead, look at the squabbling going on between Haas and Williams, and all of a sudden, we are within 1 second. Oh no, you're kidding me! I was about to say we're a part of the DRS train, and for the second time in this race, my DRS has failed. And of course, all of a sudden, Perez comes out of nowhere and uses his battery, and we have nothing to defend. So now, without DRS, we're a sitting duck. But ignore everything I just said. This is going to go just backwards now because Perez overtakes us with DRS. There's no DRS on this straight, I know, but we'll close back. But the problem is now I have only 29% battery, so that's why I'm not using it, trying to re-overtake Perez at this stage, because I need it for the main straight. But also, what's happening now is we're just going wide, because lap 24, now I'm facing a bit of tyre wear. Look at that front left tyre. It's really wearing out now, and this is where I needed DRS to help us a bit. I mean, we would have not even been in this fight of the two high-techs, the Ferrari and the McLaren. We should have been fighting what is, by the way, I haven't really said it so far, but this entire second stint, it's been the two Haas Cadillacs versus the two BMW Williams, because no one else has been able to bridge that gap, and they're all four of them just DRS training each other in the top four as we make a good move to re-overtake Sargent for P7. But without DRS, every time I overuse the battery like just then, I have no way to pull away, and I've got no chance now of joining this fight, because here we are now, all of a sudden, on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Albon leads, but Hulkenberg on the last lap may just get into the race lead here at the Italian Grand Prix. Ocon fighting him though, so one Williams loses the lead, the other gains it, because it's still a checkerboard of Williams to Haas Cadillac, but it's Ocon in the lead from Hulkenberg, Albon, Piastri. This is going to go all the way to the final corner, I think. Then following is Sainz, Behrman in no man's land, because I can't catch them. I'm only just staying ahead of Sargent, who is just ahead of a huge train of Perez, Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso, Tsunoda. There's a big gap, and then Lando's nowhere in P14, and Leclerc is even worse than nowhere down in P18 as we cut back to the race lead fight. Ocon defending into Ascari. This is it. One last sector to go, and there may be one final twist in the tail here. At Monza, Hulkenberg pulls out for the outside. Piastri to the inside. 3 wide into Parabolica, and out of nowhere, Oscar Piastri has come through. It's a smash and grab from the Australian. He has won the Italian GP. It's a 1-2 for Haas Cadillac. At Monza, at the Temple of Speed, Cadillac Power has won out. Wow. What a last two episodes. 1-2 for Williams to a 1-2 for Haas. What is going on?
And it's the checkered flag for your Grand Prix race winner, Oscar Piastri.
A great victory for them today, Crofty. And, you know, it gets to this part of the championship, you're getting tired, you're feeling the fatigue of a long season. Not many races to go now, though, and if you can keep this kind of performance up, it's going to serve you well through to the end of this year.
Today was another great race and an even greater victory for Haas. Here they come now to step out onto the top of the podium. They'll be incredibly happy with today's result.
After all the bad luck Oscar Piastri's had in maybe the last 4 races, to be honest, he deserves that win. That's incredible. I mean, it was a checkerboard of Haas and Williams, and by the end, it was a 2-by-2 situation. And once again, we have gained good points on the nearest rivals to us in the Drivers' Championship. And that was also coming into this race, you know, being a bit scared about that R&D chart. Well, guys, be sure to hit the like button if you have enjoyed this enthralling Italian GP episode, and like this video as well, because I'll leave you with this as we go towards the end of the episode. I had no idea this was about to come, but we're about to load in to the recognition screen. It's time to cook from next episode. We've got 60% recognition. Our time is now. Toyota's time is now. Till next time, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.